Okay, welcome to part 2 of polishing up my Smith & Wesson 686 Plus revolver. It's a new day, I'm well rested, and even more importantly, I have reestablished who's in charge around here. Isn't that right? You know, that's all I ask. Okay, that's quite enough. No one needs to know the details. It's just important that we're back on the same page. Hey, you know, that was as much for you as it was me. We are both fans of disco glam, so don't try to pretend otherwise. But like I said, regardless, all that matters is we're back on the same page, and we can get back to the project at hand, which, like I said, is polishing up my Smith & Wesson 686 Plus revolver. Okay, the first thing I'm going to be doing today is just blasting down the top of the gun. I want to get this down to a nice matte finish. You do that because you don't want a lot of glare coming off the top of the gun when you're trying to look down the top of the gun and get a sight picture. So let's get things set up for that. I'll show you the media I'm going to use here, and then we'll get to blasting it. The media I'll be using to bead blast the tops is a garnet mixture. It's basically a crushed garnet. It's more abrasive than the glass bead. As you can see, it has a reddish hue to it here. And that will give me that nice, really matte, low glare finish around the sights that I want to reduce glare, which would prevent me from getting a good sight picture. Okay, as you can see here, get that to focus in, left a really nice matte finish. Make sure you get inside all the ribs here really well when you bead blast it, but leaves a really nice finish, and now all I need to do is take the tape off. Okay, the tape is off now, so you can see there's really a nice contrast between the flat up there and the polished on the sides all the way back through. Now, one thing I'm going to have to do now that I have blasted this gun, even though I had it taped up, that stuff will still get in everywhere, so I'm going to take the side plate off, hose this thing out with oil everywhere, and blow it out really well. I don't know if this difference will actually show on film or not though, but that in there where I had those holes covered, that real rough, uneven looking finish, that's the factory top finish, and this is the top finish that I put on, the garnet finish. You can see quite a difference. I wish Smith & Wesson would start using the garnet. It's so much of a nicer finish. Two things here. One, make sure you remove little parts like this firing pin safety here, the hammer block, before you do the air blasting out the inside, so that'll just go shooting off and you'll never find it again. And two, now is a good time, since you have the side plate off, if you have any like really rough little burrs right through here, this almost cut me when it came off, it was so bad, just lightly rub them off so that you don't get those burring look when you put it back together. Now don't take off steel really, or else you'll have a gap in your seam, but those little sharp points sticking up, just knock those down. Once you have it all put back together, you can just start wiping it down. You want to check, make sure everything mechanical is working. One of the things you really want to check is you want to look right inside there and make sure when you pull the trigger that little firing pin pops out. Because if there's gotten to be some garnet mix or something in there and you didn't get it cleaned out properly, that's the first place you'll see a real problem, is that little pin will not pop forward when you drop the hammer. So once you have it all cleaned out and everything's working properly again, then it's time to just start polishing it back off and put it back together. Okay, here we have the finished product. As you can see from me waving to you there, it's got a pretty high gloss finish on it now. I did change out the grips and I put a pair of these nice wood grips that I got from Smith & Wesson on here. As you can see, it is a nice polished finish now. You can see us filming there. Now, it's not as mirror finish as it eventually will be, because you know, the first few times you clean it, you'll just go through it with the polish again, give it a nice little touch up, and then after a few cleanings, it'll be the mirror finish you want. All the imperfections will be gone, and then just from then on, it'll just be maintaining. Now, a couple of things about this kind of a finish. The bad thing about them is they do show every little imperfection. Like if you see if you can focus on that little spot right there. If this gun was bead blasted or brushed, you wouldn't even see that, but since it's gloss now, you can see it, which means I'll have to sand that out and then polish it. Not a big deal, just little things you expect, little things like that when you're putting a high gloss finish like this on it. But like I said, I got the top bead blasted, got the grips changed out, got the finish done. And one person wanted to see how the logo holds up, so let's see if I can get that to focus in there. As you can see, the logo holds up pretty good. It makes it look a little finer than it was before. It's still a little dirty here. I need to wipe it down. It's got some fuzz on it. But holds up pretty good. You can get that out if you want to sand it, but it's hard to get that out because they laser etch it on there. This takes off the black stuff on the top of it. It leaves the actual etched mark on the steel. But overall, looks pretty good. Very happy with how it turned out. And once this thing gets polished up a little bit more, it will be a very beautiful gun, and I'm actually thinking of making this my winter concealed carry instead of just leaving it as a camping and hiking gun. So this is just to be a really great gun for concealed carry. 7 rounds of .357 Magnum, and in the wintertime this will be no harder to carry than a 1911. So there you go, my finished, polished Smith & Wesson model 686 Plus. Oh, one last thing, I got that nick out, as you can see. Just wanted to show you that I got it out, and I am polishing it back up as we speak.